2 races down and 11 to go. 20 of sim racing's best have darted through left and right-handed turns across the United States from the southeast to the west. Now it's a return to the south with our first glimpse of American open wheel oval racing. 4 drivers in a 6-point bubble. Who will come out of the state of Texas as the best? Good evening, folks, and welcome aboard another live production for Season 2 of the Canadian Motorsports Network DART Series on iRacing. We are at the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas for Round 3 of 13 of the running for the second annual Greg Moore Cup. It's the Texas DART 188, the second edition in our history. Last season was the Texas 188. We're adding DART into this one to emphasize the name, of course, and the series that we are running here tonight. And unfortunately, right now, I do not have my sidekick in the broadcast booth right now. He'll be joining us just a little bit later, so I'll introduce myself anyways. Hello, everyone. I am the voice of the Canadian Motorsports Network, Regan MacAulay, from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. And again, the thing I would be talking about with Jordy here would be originally what I'd be saying right now, but we're going to have to move on and just go to a couple other segments. But I will point out right now, again, 2 races in, we've seen multiple storylines taking shape in this second season of DART. Race 1 in Alabama, the pole sitter out on lap 1, an early rookie versus veteran battle for the win, and absolute domination for about 30-plus laps by the rookie Dylan Bahm. Race 2 in Long Beach, the top 2 finishers from Alabama crashed early, and other rookies took advantage of top spots, with iRacing Pro licensed driver Charlie Sears keeping the rookie win streak alive. Sears was maybe, I think it was like 10 to 20 seconds away or something from setting a Canadian Motorsports Network record, lapping the whole field. Ty Higginbottom came very close during, I believe it was the 2021 NASCAR Series season at Martinsville, and this second attempt by Sears, or by just any driver in general, which was Sears, unfortunately also unsuccessful, but maybe we'll see a third time's the charm later this season. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, 2 straight rookie wins, plenty of lap cars, and 4 drivers within a 6-point bubble for the Greg Moore Cup lead. Squeeze those 3 headlines together heading into our first oval race of the season. We may very well see a thrilling race here tonight. So now let's take a look quickly at last week's results of the Grand Prix of Long Beach at the Long Beach Street Circuit. Charlie Sears was the class of the field, winning the pole and leading 40 laps. The only driver in the field with a fastest lap in the 103s and an average lap in the 106s. Holy moly. Andy Hertel continues his top 5 streak, but this one's a podium, being the best of the rest. He led 5 laps during the green flag pit window. Rookie Jonathan Swainson had a massive resurgence after finishing last in the Grand Prix of Alabama, finishing on the podium this time around. C.D. Magrum and Jason Butler rounded at the top 5, with Magrum earning back-to-back top 5s, and Butler improving his result after bad luck at Alabama. Series founder Daniel Cudmore, Mike Marini, Kyle Knoll, Jose Mercado, and multi-time Formula 1 champion Darcy Ford rounded out the top 10. Not so fortunate with 20 or more laps down were drivers such as rookies Mark Ouellette and Patrick Hernandez. 2 big names who qualified in podium positions were Dylan Bahm and Corbin MacAulay. Caden Tufts also made his DART Series debut, the Maritime League of Legends Tour driver, only managing 5 laps though, unfortunately. And Ivan Reynolds notably did not participate. And there's a couple other names you can see in there, like Darcy Cudmore, Hunter Young, and Michael Dimitrov in there as well. So I'd say about half the field, good race, and then another half just, we went from the first race with only 5 cars on the lead lap, and then race 2, only 2. So hopefully that's not a continuous trend we see over the season, but again, though, sometimes you do have to appreciate domination. And considering tonight's race, it could be a different story. We may see some pack racing. I'm just going to say that right now before we get into anything else, but as we move on here, we're going to take a look at, let me see where I'm supposed to be here. Yes, there we go. Here we are with the driver points standings after 2 rounds. Holy smokes, is it ever tight. Andy Hertel's consistency has him up top with 73 points. Bahm and MacAulay both remain towards the top, but unfortunately, MacAulay is unable to participate tonight since he will be running in the eNASCAR College iRacing Series, representing Holland College and also, I guess, us as well, in the number 17 Holland College truck. So, of course, the best of luck to him. This is the I guess the best way to put it is like the biggest stage he's ever been on in sim racing. So we do sincerely wish him the best of luck at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But at the same time, too, his absence will also severely affect him in the points. Charlie Sears jumps from 18th to a tie with C.D. Magrum for 3rd, and many other drivers face up and down maneuvers, while Kyle Knoll remains the only other driver in the field to sit in one particular position 2 weeks in a row. No movement whatsoever, but there's no doubt after tonight he will look to move his way up. And now let's see here. There we go. That's what I was wanting. Yes, the Rookie of the Year points now. An even tighter gap right here with a 1-point bubble between 3 drivers. Bahm, Magrum, and Sears have led the way as the perennial contenders for the award, but do not count out Jose Mercado or Jonathan Swainson. Mercado, in particular, has the consistency, and then Swainson has that raw speed. He has been clearly showing that, just needs a little bit more luck when it comes to the results. And now we move on to the manufacturer standings, where Toyota continues to lead the way in the manufacturer standings, while Chevrolet and Rolls-Royce move up the podium. Honda and BMW fall to the bottom of the top 5. And then once again, we take a look again at the Nations Cup. It sees a continuation of dominance by the United States. For context, drivers within the series will compete to see if Canada or the United States is the best. The top 5 finishers from each country will count towards their team total, and after round 2, 67 points separate the bordering countries. 4 rookies contributed to the bottom country, while Canada had 4 veterans as their top finishers as the top country. And before we take a look here, just at the schedule very quickly, I'm going to maybe on a message here, so just give me a second. Apologies for the silence there, just trying to figure out how procedures are going to go for tonight's race, but we'll get into that later, of course. So, where are we on the schedule? Of course, here's where we're going. At least it's only the first half of this new season of Dart, of course. You're seeing just the first half of the schedule because you have to remember there's 13 races, not 6. We wouldn't do that to our drivers, obviously. Should also be noted, the car engine power, again, we keep having to say this, it's wrong. It's actually minus 5%. I believe that's what it is for all the tracks. But anyways, we're now at round 3 as we return to the south. But it's time to go oval racing. We went to a road course and then a street circuit, but now we're at an oval. 150 laps around the very, 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 very popular Texas Motor Speedway. That would be very sarcastic if we were running NASCAR, but the American Open Wheels side actually appreciates its racing, depending on who you talk to. But anyways, the qualifying format is different between the road courses, street circuits, and the ovals. The best lap in 10 minutes for the first 2 rounds, that's what it is at all road courses, but now on the ovals, it's, besides I believe the Indy 250, it's 2 laps per driver, and whatever one is better gives you a spot on the grid. And now if we were to talk about Texas Motor Speedway, might as well get a bit of a scenic view of what it's like. The Texas Motor Speedway is a 1.5 mile, 2.4 kilometer quad oval with a front stretch that juts outward very so slightly. Similar layout to Atlanta Motor Speedway and Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's nicknamed the Great American Speedway, with one of the larger motorsports venues in the entire world. The track has held American open wheel racing since 1997 and offers well over 200 plus miles per hour of wild racing and historical moments. And just to clarify for tonight in the Dollar IRL 1, we're going to be getting up apparently 240 plus miles per hour of racing. And considering tonight could very well be a pack race through the whole thing, again, possibly, this could be a barn burner. And one historical moment we can bring up includes Kenny Brack's crash back in 2003, where he recorded the highest horizontal G-force ever survived by a human at 214 Gs. And thankfully, all G-forces sustained here that you will be witnessing here tonight will be all for comedy purposes. It all equals comedy. Again, it's iRacing, it's not real life. No fatalities. You can literally see it there. There's no limits at Texas. So, oh, yes. Irony all over the place. But anyways, The Texas Dart 188 is half the regular distance of the real-life race and is 100 laps less. 150 laps around the steeply banked and blisteringly fast oval. We might as well just take a good look here at the ride-along. I'm going to have to be quick with this one because, man, the car is fast. Through the quad oval with some turning, that can easily cause contact if you're in a heated side-by-side battle or even a pack. Through turns 1 and 2 with corners banked at 20 degrees with a massive distance between the apron and the outside wall, it's an easy place for the car to hook around out of nowhere and can lead to nasty hits. Down the back straightaway where if you blink, the leader will be in turn 3 like there was never a backstretch at all. And then, of course, 24 degrees of banking in turns 3 and 4. A lot of drivers can take advantage of the outside lane if the racing gods offer them just enough room. All in all, this track might offer us the first close racing through... I must have written something weird there, but anyways, this might be the first track where we actually get to see close, action-packed racing, as, again, the first 2 races we've seen, plenty of lap cars. It's been pure domination by rookies. And I'm even seeing here, while watching everyone practice here, there's guys going in packs. So, either we might get some close racing, or maybe someone like Charlie Sears destroys the field once again. But whatever happens, things will get heated no matter what. AJ Knickel won the race last year with 3 drivers. Hang on. Yeah, AJ Knickel won the race last year with 3 drivers from this season's roster finishing inside the top 5. Daniel Cudmore was the highest finishing of the current boys in 2nd place. Yet again, we're going to have another race with another new winner, at least if we're not going off the Dylan Bahm, Charlie Sears thing from this season. But for the Texas race itself, someone new is going to win it. And that's all that matters. And still trying to see here if Jordy is going to get in. It looks as though we might have to wait at least another 10 to 20 minutes or so. So we might not even get him until the middle of the race. So it's just going to be a one-man show here, especially through, looks like it's going to be the qualifying session here, I would imagine. Or not, we're going to see some cars just crashing and walloping instead. Seeing here, is it just the practice? Okay, that's going to be the deal here. I assume qualifying's a little bit less time because, again, it's 2 laps per driver instead of the 10 minutes where every driver just, has to go for the best lap that they can. But yeah, we got 3 minutes remaining here in practice, and so far, Ty Higginbottom with the fastest speed, and holy moly, man, everyone's close here. It's only 8 thousandths of a second separated between the 97 and the 77. And if I might as well take a look at some of my notes here, of course. Yeah, Ty Higginbottom in particular. Which tab would that be? I'm just going to go off. Okay, which one is it here? You know what? Sure, we'll use the onboard tab. Why the heck not? Yeah, the 2022 NASCAR Series champion, continuing the Tornado Alley e-racing efforts, running a United States Air Force Toyota. Higgy ran 7 races in Season 1 of DART, finished 11th in points. Also a former Formula 1 All-Star Series points runner-up with 3 wins earlier this year. Currently in the standings, Higginbottom sits in 12th, 43 points, 3 behind Swainson, who was in a tie with Jason Butler for 10th. There's a lot of drivers and ties in these championship point standings thus far here in Season 2 of the DART Series. And then there's Hunter Young here with the 2nd best time thus far. Young currently sitting in a tie with Mark Ouellette for 15th in points with 32 overall. Where can I see some details here of Hunter Young? Yeah, another driver making his full-time open-wheel debut after 3 seasons of NASCAR experience, which includes a first career victory in Season 4. And then quite frankly, right in front of him, the number 7 of Andy Hertel, the Rolls-Royce car. 519 e-racing, of course. If I can pull together Andy Hertel's little statistics here. He's a beloved guy here in the Canadian Motorsports Network, of course. Finished 5th in points last season. Got 1 win, or technically 2 if we were to count his inaugural Indianapolis 250 win. And he's got a bunch of Formula 1 experience, so there's no doubt. Again, this guy's been one to pay attention to here so far early in the season. Again, currently, he's literally the points leader, 73 points only a couple ahead of Dylan Bahm so far. Hertel with finishes of 4th and 2nd. So he'll look to try and get into victory lane this time around for round 3 with half a minute remaining here in practice. And you can just see these guys going at it in packs. We can just go all across here. There's about 3 or 4 right there. Looking at the field here so far, the guys that have made the attendance here for the 2023 Texas DART 188. 17 cars projected to run in this one, so I would imagine, again, we have 20 overall drivers altogether. I can already think of 2 drivers right off the bat in Corbin MacAulay and Caden Tufts. Certainly not showing up. Caden Tufts has Legends action to get to over in Las Vegas. I think it's the Inex Nationals. I think that's what the name is. I don't recall for sure, but Caden Tufts is on his way to Las Vegas as of speaking right now, so obviously the best of luck to both MacAulay and Tufts, who are both really setting themselves on big stages within racing, no matter if it's real life or in sim. And as for the other driver, I won't be able to tell until I actually be able to count everyone here. And now considering, I'd imagine everyone's going to be going almost at the exact same time here, so we're just going to have to focus on different cars and just see, you know, who's fast within these 5 minutes, where every driver gets 2 laps, and the best one is what counts, and that's where they get placed on the grid. So here's the number 99 of Jonathan Swainson going at it. He's coming off a 3rd place finish in the Grand Prix of Long Beach. Not too shabby for the rookie, who again finished in dead last at the Grand Prix of Alabama. So a massive resurgence for the rookie there. Driving for a Pun Crew Racing team. I believe he's from Ontario, sponsored by the Almax Group. We'll just kind of go through the different drivers here with times and such. So far, Charlie Sears with the top time thus far with a 22.922. The only driver in the 22 second area so far. Nobody's been able to get over 23. And coming to the line to complete his 2nd lap, Sears is going to not improve on his time. Instead, it'll be a... Or actually, no, it is an improved time, actually, 22.922. And as a matter of fact, Dylan Bahm with a big crash in turns 1 and 2. Oh, no, he's not going to be the top one. It looks like Andy Hertel might be it. So the number 7 looks like he may have just set the fastest time with a 22.856. Yeah, they're the qualifying times. No, we got another leaper, C.D. Magram, the DART Series rookie, coming off of 2 seasons of NASCAR experience. This guy's been on fire for his open wheel debuts so far. 3rd place in Alabama and then 4th at Long Beach. So he is no doubt so far looking like a perennial contender for the 2nd annual Greg Moore Cup. As right now in the standings, currently sitting in 3rd, tied with Charlie Sears. And just kind of looking through the rest of the grid here, it looks like only 3 cars will not take a lap here in this qualifying session. So only 14 of 17 taking in laps. Not a lot of surprising names up towards the top, but there's also a couple names a little bit surprising towards the back, I would say. So again, this race right here could be a really big opportunity for anyone to step up and show themselves off and get themselves up to the top in points. Because again, the points are still very, very close. Because again, there's been a lot of inconsistency with a lot of guys. But then again, there's guys like Andy Hertel and C.D. Magram who, again, have been like the 2 most perfectly consistent drivers so far. And then Dylan Bahm and Charlie Sears with wins. But either drivers have a bit of a different pattern in terms of one race where they wreck and then another race where they win. And then Corbin MacAulay finishing 2nd in Alabama and then crashing at Long Beach. So again, there's just a lot of different storylines going on all over the place, and that's exactly what we want to see here within the DART Series. As here comes the open wheel veteran within the Canadian eMotorsports Network and Darcy Ford, the number 64. It's currently in the tie, a 3-way tie for 7th place in the standings. So yeah, the number 64 driving for 519 eRacing from Prince Edward Island, sponsored by Wing Snob, Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue, driving the Rolls Royce. This guy has almost every single open wheel accomplishment you can think of imaginable when it comes to the Canadian E-Motorsports network. If I can go and find some of his little statistics and info here. Yeah, there it is. Like, again, finished second in points last season in DART with 1 win. Formula One, he's got 2 championships. He won both the regular series championship and the All-Star Series championship last year with a combined 4 wins. He was also the 2023 Formula One All-Star Series champion, also as a NASCAR championship. So, again, this guy's caked in championship glory, although as of recently it's been a bit of a different story, especially this past NASCAR season where we could all tell he was kind of having a bit of a rough transition to the iRacing service after, again, we had all the years before 2023 where, we were just on the console side of sim racing. But so far here in the DART Series, his transition's actually been not too shabby here so far. Again, 5th place at Alabama, and then I believe that would be 10th at Long Beach. Not too shabby. Not too bad. Still plenty of time for things to shake up and for him to step his way up through the standings and through the grid. And with all that being said, the qualifying session has come to an end, and you can already you're basically getting spoilers right there for the starting grid, but we're going to get to that eventually as everyone here will line up on the pit lane to get their engines fired up. So we'll just wait for every little car here to pop up on the grid behind the iRacing official pace car, and we will be set to go green flag racing here at the blisteringly fast Texas Motor Speedway. I could say popular again, but I think every NASCAR fan would probably put me on their hit list. So all I can think of right now is don't be surprised if a car ends up in the catch fence in this one. Best of luck to Corbin MacAulay in his college eNASCAR College iRacing Series race at Charlotte. And, of course, best of luck to Caden Tufts as he makes his way to Viva Las Vegas for his Little Legends fun. And X Nationals, whatever it's called. Anyways, we will be back here very, very soon as I will give a quick message here to the drivers and give the command, the most famous words in motorsports, to get these engines fired up for the 2nd annual Texas DART 188. And we will get round 3 of 13 for the 2nd annual Greg Moore Cup underway. Stay tuned. And there you have it. Hearing those engines get fired up, we're going to do a couple pace laps here to get through the starting grid for tonight's event. So here we go. Starting on the front row, we have some top points drivers in the number 1 BMW of Sidney Megram. 2 is outside. We have the number 7 of your points leader, Andy Hertel. Moving on now to row 2, where we have, again, another rookie here. It's another rookie and veteran kind of a thing going in within these rows. The number 3 Toyota of Dylan Bahm, the Grand Prix of Alabama winner. And the number 97 Toyota of Ty Higginbottom. Moving on now to rounding at the top 5, we have the number 10 Rolls-Royce of Jason Butler, and to his outside, a fellow Canadian Motorsports veteran in the number 12. Let me make sure I have this correct here. That would be, yes, the Audi. I mean, the number 12 Audi. My memory sometimes sucks. Anyways, moving on. We have the number 32 of Charlie Sears, the winner of the Grand Prix of Long Beach, starting in 7th. And to his outside, we have a guy who's been very impressive so far here in this new season of darts, the number 9 BMW of Jose Mercado. And now here we are to round out the top 10. We have some rookies here. I mean, at least one to the network and then one to the series alone. The number 15 Toyota of Kyle Knoll. To his outside, the number 80 Chevrolet of Mark Ouellette. And now just outside the top 10, we have the number 99 of Jonathan Swainson, who is coming off again that podium finish back at Long Beach. So plenty of momentum there. To his outside, the number 12 Vespa, or to his outside, in 12th place, the number 67 Vespa, of Ivan Reynolds. Now we have the number 77 Chevrolet of Hunter Young, and to his outside, one of the Cudmores, the number 75 Ford of Darcy Cudmore. And then we have the other Cudmore right here, right behind him, in 15th, the number 2 Ford of Series Network founder Daniel Cudmore. And look at that, a familiar face to him on his outside, the number 64 Rolls-Royce of Darcy Ford. And then rounding out the field, 17 cars here at Texas Motor Speedway, it is the number 91 of Patrick Hernandez in the Subaru. That's what that would be. There we go. And with all that being said, that's your starting grid. I have absolutely no idea if we're going to be going green this time. Still waiting on Jordy here as well to join me here in the broadcast booth. So the pace car rolls off right here. Then we can set these guys off for some wild pack racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. No, it's not going to be this time around, so we're going to have to wait another lap just a little bit here. Might as well maybe take a look at some other little quick details here for tonight's race. We have partly cloudy skies here at Texas Motor Speedway. Air temperature 20 degrees Celsius, track temperature 22 degrees Celsius. Again, I'm not a perfect weather expert, but I imagine it's not too slick. We've seen slicker, especially at the previous road courses, and again with a lot of the NASCAR races where we were reaching almost 50 degrees Celsius. 36% humidity, 13 kilometer an hour wind speed, wind direction E. That would mean east. Other than that, not a whole lot to say here, as the field will come down the back straightaway one last time under the pace laps. And again, we'll get to go green in a race where, again, we're going to begin a new winner. The A.J. Knickel, the 2022 DART Series champion, won that one last year, but this year we're going to get someone new. Does Dylan Bahm get a second career victory? Maybe does Charlie Sears, or do we get someone new? Is it going to be someone new within the first 3 races here? Again, the first oval race of the season. This is going to be a true test of, it's basically a mixture of a couple different things. It's like there's endurance, there's patience, there's, quite frankly, making sure you don't make contact with someone else, especially tire-to-tire contact. We could very well see some big wrecks here tonight, maybe even see our first couple of cautions after the first 2 races went caution-free. So with all that being said, the pace car is going to come off, and here we go. It's time to go green flag racing here at the Texas Motor Speedway. There's the green flag. We're underway. Oh, we already got trouble in the back. That is absolutely not ideal. Caution out already, and this is going to be, this might cause some interesting discussions with some drivers. I don't know for sure what we're going to do here now. So I have no clue whether or not if we can even get a restart of what just happened there, or we might just have to keep going. I'm going to have to, quite frankly, ask someone about that, so just give me a second. So I'm not getting any word about what was up with what just happened right there, but I can only imagine we're just going to keep going because I don't think we even have the option of going back, but we're just going to have to take a look at what on earth just happened there. Quite frankly, not the start that we were expecting, nor that anyone was wanting at all. So we'll just see here from the dynamic TV view. Yeah, Andy Hertel spun the tires there on the start, and then it was just a chain reaction from there. Again, looking at the replay. That might have been maybe a gear situation right there, trying to shift up, and that didn't work. And then you can just see the carnage going on along the track from behind. Perhaps we'll take a look maybe here from the number 80 of Mark Ouellette. So again, it was a bit of a traffic jam going on, and then, yeah, one car goes down. I can't exactly tell who that was, and then just a chain reaction from there. I think... And if I look at the spotter grid here, I think that actually, I believe that would be the number 12 of Mike Marini, causing everyone to kind of pile in behind him. And then behind him, I guess this angle will definitely help. You can see Hertel going down there. Don't know if that was spinning the tires or some gear situation. Then everyone just kind of piles in to that one. So everyone's stopping here on the back straightaway. I don't know exactly what's going on here. I guess you could call it a red flag. And it sounds like a familiar face has joined me here. So let's just get to him. Yeah, Jordy, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here. I just said Yokiero Taco Bell.
You just saw what...
I want Taco Bell.
You just saw what happened there, I imagine. The replay.
I caught the replay, yes.
Thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I jinxed it by showing up now, but... yeah, definitely not the ideal. Where are we? Lap 3? Yeah, not the ideal start. And yeah, for context, I'm literally just coming in from work and basically got straight onto the air. So I am catching up as we speak.
So yeah, that was right at the start. That's the best I can put it right there. We didn't manage to complete a whole lap or even get through the entire front straightaway right there. But yes, everyone that is... color commentator Jordy Carraher, he's been here since the very beginning. Of course, he's from the other side of the country right now in Alberta, Canada, of course. I can see in our little communication thing that we have going here, you're watching a familiar face.
He's got to show up on camera, but yes.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, I could just make it as easy as this. Bingo.
Also that, yep.
Yes, this works. Now you see our faces here finally, and well, I guess
it gives us something to talk about during this red flag or whatever's going on. Or hey,
oh yeah, no, absolutely. We get a bit of a sneak peek of what's going on with Corbin here. This may or may not be very illegal here. The capturing of another stream going on. But anyways, yes, Jordy. So that thing I was getting at earlier in the race that I wanted to discuss with you was that where the heck is it? Yes, there it is. I already mentioned this, but I'm going to say it again. It's 2 races in. We've seen multiple storylines taking shape in this second season of DART. Race 1 in Alabama, pole sitter out on lap 1. Early rookie versus veteran battle for the win. Absolute domination for a while by Dylan Bahm. Race 2 in Long Beach sees the top 2 finishers from Alabama crashing early. And then other rookies taking advantage of the top spots, with iRacing Pro License driver Charlie Sears keeping the rookie win streak alive. Almost set a Canadian Motorsports network record. It was 10, 20, 30 seconds away from Andy Hertel. Could have lapped the whole field. That's what the record would have been. Ty Higginbottom, of course, came close to that a couple years back in the NASCAR series, but fell just short of that as well. So, I don't know, second attempt by someone to lap the whole field, unsuccessful, but maybe we'll see a third time's the charm this season perhaps. But again, Jordy, 2 straight rookie wins, plenty of lap cars, and 4 drivers within a 6-point bubble for the Greg Moore Cup lead. And you squeeze those 3 headlines together heading into this race, or I guess is now the current race going on here tonight.
Yep.
We may very well see some more thrilling action, get some more interesting headlines, and I might as well even point out to you, Seany Mangrum and Andy Hertel were the top 2 qualifiers for tonight's race, so there's another little additional detail in there. But yeah, everything I said there, give me your thoughts.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot to take in, and I think, in light of what you said about, us not pirating per se, but definitely showing another stream, probably not the best idea, so instead we'll revert to, something else.
Oh, I just switched scenes as soon as you did that. Oh, thank goodness.
I tried. But yeah, to get serious here for a moment, I think the fact that, again, we've had the 2 different winners, obviously, kind of varying ends of the spectrum here in terms of the overall results. And, that's produced a pretty tight field here so far. And you mentioned, Andy Hertel on the front row. Am I still talking here, Riggs, or are you in the background?
Still have one. I think Kyle Knoll had something too. Yeah, mine isn't cleared yet.
Regan's working on it.
Well, I'm good, thank you.
Yep.
Apologies for that, everyone. We were just trying to clear some penalties right there. A little bit of issues going on as everyone was trying to sort things out after that crash that we had there on lap 1, or you could even argue not even on that. But yes, we're all good, Jordy. We kind of did miss the restart right there, but everything's all good.
Can Marini get a black flag clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're green. Oh, that looks like a little bit of behind the scenes there. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, of course.
Yes, indeed, everything's happening, because quite frankly, I've had to clear a couple of different penalties there, and I believe the only way I could really do it was on... Actually, never mind. I think I've had a button here this whole time, and I never noticed it. But anyways, we're just going to move on. Lap 11 of 150 here in the Texas DART 188. After that early crash that we had, we have a couple cars laps down, including Mark Roulette, Hunter Young, and Charlie Sears. It looks like Sears, unfortunately, the first DNF of the race because of what just happened. So again, that's going to be 2 DNFs within 3 races, and then of course the win back at Long Beach, so not ideal for the number 32. But right now, at the moment, C.D. Magrum, Ty Higginbottom, and Dylan Bahm currently your podium drivers, and they are really going at it here, only separated by 0.2.
Yeah, and I mean, there's already a couple of seconds separation between that trio and Jose Mercado. They're a little bit further back, and again, at a track like Texas, a couple of seconds, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is an eternity once you kind of get your distances and stuff sorted out. And yeah, the fact that these three are pulling away so quickly, look out.
Absolutely look out. Again, if we didn't have that crash there at the start, then I'd imagine we would have a lot more cars going at it here within a pack, but only 3 here thus far. Jose Mercado is 2.3 seconds back. Kyle Knoll at 7. Patrick Hernandez, Darcy Ford, Jason Butler, Andy Hertel, and Daniel Cudmore rounding at the top 10. Right now, again, there's a couple of these guys I'd imagine may have damage from that incident that we just had. It looks like Jonathan Swainson and Ivan Reynolds are also going to join the DNF board here after that starting incident. Hunter Young on track 12 laps down, while Mark Roulette is currently in his pit box at 13. Not ideal, but right now it's just early on in this one. 3-car battle. As would you look at this, they're going to get side by side here for the lead. It's C.D. Magrum versus Ty Higginbottom. A couple of familiar faces from the NASCAR series is Dylan Bahm. Some lap cars in there.
Car.
Yeah, someone's getting lapped. That would be Mike Marini. So Magrum, Higginbottom, and Bahm, your top 3.
Yeah, they're just trying to run away and hide here.
Basically. But yes, the number 1, again, currently tied for 3rd in points with Charlie Sears. Again, because of Sears' DNF, there's no doubt that Magrum's going to get a huge jump right there. We'll have to see how Andy Hertel and Dylan Bahm will end up finishing within this race. But, of course, the number 1, GTR Motorsports BMW, sponsored by Nordic Aluminum, A1 Grassroots Lawn Maintenance, and Landscaping. Ty Higginbottom's United States Air Force Toyota for Tornado Alley eRacing. And then, of course, Dylan Bahm, SimLeaguePro.com Team 44 Racing Toyota. So far, we got 2 open-wheel rookies going at it versus a veteran here. Has got a lot of close racing right here, about a 4-car pack almost. And I believe that's that's actually going to be, I believe, all 4 cars within between 5th and 8th. Meanwhile, Andy Hertel is still all the way back here in the 9th position. But we're getting some pretty close action-packed racing as Patrick Hernandez tries to get past Kyle Knoll here on the high side. Jason Butler trying to follow in as well. Hernandez looks like he's going to squeeze in right behind Knoll once again, still trying to use the high side. My goodness, that's a lot of weaving right there. Especially, again, you know how the front stretch is aligned, especially, like, it's similar layouts to tracks like Atlanta Motor Speedway and Charlotte Motor Speedway, having to do those ever so slight turns on that kind of a quad oval layout. It can make things interesting, and if you're side by side with someone else, that's easy contact if you mess up those turns.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with the IR01, like, there is, like, your reaction time has to be absolutely on point to be able to kind of dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge to try and navigate your way around. But I have to say, like, I know the first couple of races weren't necessarily the most comfortable for him, but Patrick Hernandez there in 7th, just overtaken by Jason Butler, sure. But certainly in the early going feels much more at home on the ovals compared to the road course to start at Barber, and of course the street circuit last week at Long Beach. So Hernandez finding something here potentially. We'll see how this shakes out over the course of the evening.
Oh, I think there might have been a loose moment there from the 15 coming off of turn 4 as Jason Butler's going to try to take advantage here on the high side. Again, that inside line seems to be ever so slightly better here so far early in this one. But a lot of close racing here again between Knoll, Butler, Hernandez, Darcy Ford trying to get into this battle here as well.
Oh, man.
And you got to know here too as well, with these speeds that these cars go at, you could go at a near maximum 240 miles per hour if you're able to manage. And would you look at that, Jason Butler is now going to enter the top 5. Kyle Knoll dropping back to 6. Patrick Hernandez is going to look to take advantage on the high side. He'll dip back down low. The top three still kind of keeping themselves a little bit more at peace. No one really going for much battling. It just seems like it's kind of almost like tandem drafting or something like that you'd see at a super speedway. As Kyle Knoll looks to jump ahead of Jason Butler here once again as Darcy Ford has moved his way up past Patrick Hernandez. He's going to look to try and get past a familiar face in Jason Butler. So some close racing here for the top five, the bottom of the top five.
Indeed so. And again, the fact that these four are racing and you got the top three kind of in their own world. Poor Jose Mercado is kind of in no man's land here, running a very quiet fourth place, it has to be said, in the early going.
Yeah, very quiet place, but it's also, you can certainly say that he's definitely at peace there with, again, this kind of a four-car pack going at here. Is now the order is going to be Knoll, Ford, Butler, and Hernandez, as they have ever so slightly begun to separate now. Looking at some of these little chats that we're seeing here behind the scenes of what's going on with certain drivers, Ivan Reynolds was unfortunately disqualified for a black flag because he passed the pace car that wasn't even there. Mark Ouellette with 20 minutes of repairs. And,
still not the record.
Yeah, and Jonathan Swainson sound like the Rookie of the Year charge may not be looking as good now, but again, it's still early in the season, so again, you never know what may happen. As wow, Jason Butler getting in real close as everyone, again, separated for a little bit, but then they just got right back together. Kind of reminds me of what we've seen at the NASCAR Next Gens at the super speedways in real life, where again, cars might be like single file for a while or whatever, but with some time, whatever lane that is having the disadvantage will just catch right the heck up. And this is kind of a pattern we also see within real-life American open-wheel racing. Cars will separate for some time and then eventually close back together. As wow, I think Kyle Knoll had another moment there off of turn 4 as Jason Butler looks to retake the 5th position again. And I'm looking at the timing screen, and I'm just waiting for something to happen with this top 3. They still haven't moved, and it looks like they're still remaining at the gaps that they've been remaining at this whole time so far. But I'm just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, and I think that another interesting component to all this is, like, we don't really talk about it as much because he more or less drives for DCR, but I believe CD Mangrum may also have some Sim League Pro ties as well. So if he and Dylan Bahm can potentially workshop something to get a 1-2 past Ty Higginbotham, there, of course, another former Mangrum teammate in NASCAR Season 3. As, yeah, you guys are just ducking and diving all over the place here. Man, oh man. The only thing going faster than the cars here, like, these laps are absolutely peeling away here.
Indeed they are, and we saw Patrick Hernandez giving his shot up there in the 5th position, but now it's just right back to Kyle Knoll as per usual. Top 3 still doing their good old thing of, if you can call 3 cars tandem drafting, then sure. Jose
Trio
Mercado.
drafting?
Huh?
Trio drafting? Since
sure.
Well, 3? I don't know.
Sure, we can call it that. That's fair enough. Jose Mercado's still in no man's land. Still at peace. And then these guys are just doing complete anarchy, and it wouldn't surprise me if at one point they wanted to try the Kenny Brack experience.
Well, kind of dark, but no, that's unfortunate. But no, I was just about to go ahead and compliment the GTR boys on the cotton candy liveries we're seeing here tonight. As if I wasn't hungry enough.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, maybe a Texas State Fair thing. I don't know.
There we go. I think that's much better. Look at that close racing between Kyle Knoll and Jason Butler through turns 3 and 4. I'm surprised again. Wouldn't surprise me at some point if maybe something happened with the 15. We saw how aggressive he was back in Season 4 of NASCAR, and it did sometimes lead to some certain moments, but he's holding on so far. Wow, are we almost getting 3 wide here as Jason Butler had to go up the track a little bit right there. Hernandez trying to make something happen behind them. He gets in the grass a little bit there too. I kind of wish this was maybe for the lead.
I was going to say the fact that, and I don't want to jinx this, but the fact that we've stayed kind of in the same direction with all these 4, man, oh man, what a crazy kind of roller coaster this has been here over the
Whoa,
last
Darcy
10,
Ford, I
15
think.
laps. Jeez, man.
Darcy Ford, I think, also had a moment there, too. My gosh.
Yikes, and now they're coming up on a lap car. I think that's Marini, maybe.
No, that would not be Marini. Someone now gone there. Anyways.
Yeah, there was a fifth car there.
So again, CD Magram's still leading the way by 2/10 there. Again, it's just the same distance between those guys pretty much. And then, honestly, at this point, we can just keep the cameras on these guys because they just keep flipping back and forth here on lap 40 of 150 here in the second annual Texas Dart 188. So, that'd be 14 cars remaining in this one with 3 out. Again, Charlie Sears, I believe, is due to damage, and then Ivan Reynolds and Jonathan Swainson had to deal with some unfortunate black flag issues.
Yeah, and then you referenced Mark Ouellette trying to work his way out after some lengthy repairs, but officially listed as 16th at the moment.
Wow, Jason Butler with an incredible save. No, he's going to go down pit road. Oh, and hard into the pit wall.
It felt like a matter of time before something happened, didn't it? There was only so long that those four could keep going.
Oh, and how tragic is it that it has to be him? So we're going to have to take a look at that one for sure.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any like inherent contact. Yeah, just kind of got below the apron. Unless he kind of got net coated, I'm not sure, but yeah, otherwise that one's self-inflicted, it looks like.
No, I don't want to face angle. There we go. I think this will work.
Yeah, I can see he dips below the white line. Instantly starts to wobble.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's just a loose moment.
And I mean, ultimately, that's what did him in at that highest speed.
It was netcode.
Okay.
I just got told that. And he's also done.
And that was my second suspicion there. But yeah, that's a crying shame there, really. Again, that battle between those four, it was so good in the early going. But yeah, it could well be the end of the night for the 10.
Oh, no, he literally just told me it is, so.
Okay, then. I wasn't sure if he was going to try and undergo some repairs or what that looked like.
See, again, the top three continue to remain in their same positions as per usual, but now it's going to be a 3-car battle for the 5th position, as now it drops down to Noel, Ford, and Hernandez, so it's like one down. Who's next?
Well, I mean, they could always potentially swallow up Mercado there in no man's land.
Yes, there's that too.
Yeah, because, I mean, it still looks like Andy Hertel would have some, for lack of a better term, hurdles to climb to get to that trio. So it might be easier for those three to kind of work together to reel in 4th place Jose Mercado here.
I mean, yeah, Mercado has been slowly getting more and more behind the top 3. Now it's 7 seconds behind. At some point he was like 2, but now it's 7. So, again, 5th through 7th, kind of just reeling him in. At some point, Mercado will try to defend himself every way he possibly can. We can see here now on the ticker, only 8 cars remaining on the lead lap. And I guess one thing I might as well notably mention, yes, everyone, we still have that ticker issue when it comes to the tire compounds, but no, they're not on the softs. The way it goes with the oval races is you're only on the hard tire compound. You use all 3, soft, medium, hard, when it comes to the road courses and the street circuits, but on the ovals, it's all hard. Gray. Not the red softs, you see. It's the hard grays.
Right. Yes. So a little bit of dyslexia there with the ticker, it has to be said. But as long as we have a general explanation, then we should all be good. We should all be understanding here.
Yep, exactly. And I'd imagine here we got 3 Toyotas here in the top 5. They're going to continue trying to dominate the manufacturer. I don't know if I would say dominate, but they've been at the top of the manufacturer point standings the whole way through so far. Again, Ty Higginbottom, Dylan Bahm, and Kyle Knoll. Yeah, still in the way. I mean, actually, I would not say domination. I'd just say, they've been leading 2 races in a row now. Chevrolet and Rolls-Royce, of course, moving their way up now as, unfortunately, all the Chevrolets, there's only, the only 3 in the that were in the field here tonight. All of them are out. Or actually, no, they're just in bad positions. Charlie Sears is out, but Hunter Young and Mark Ouellette are just laps down. Young is 13, and Mark Ouellette is 38 laps down. So Chevrolet is no doubt going to end up plummeting. And again, it's really kind of just going off the fact that Chevrolet really only has Sears and then the other guys just based on how their performances have been so far. Not the most ideal. And then you get like Rolls-Royce with open-wheel veterans like Darcy Ford and Andy Hertel. Getting good finishes, especially too with Andy Hertel's consistency so far. And it looks as though
we got a new leader, folks.
Actually, no, we got pit stops.
Okay, that would explain that. So Higgy's staying out here.
Higginbottom is staying out. I don't know for sure if there's only going to be a 1 green flag window. I would imagine maybe just 1. We'll have to wait and see. But Magrum, Baum, Hernandez, and a Guinness World Record attempt by Jason Butler.
Yeah, it could well be.
Wow, Magrum and Baum really close coming off the pit road right there. Ever so slightly off in terms of the pit stop time differences there.
But notably, Baum leapfrogs Mangrum in the midst of all that.
And
because as you can see, Mangrum comes in first.
And then both cars taking all 4 tires and the fuel, of course. I guess Butler.
The edge of the line.
I thought Baum might have leapfrogged Mangrum there, but it looks like Mangrum got the edge there. So I may. Oh, why is Mangrum coming in again? Penalty?
No. Mangrum is back on pit road. I wonder if he might have gotten a speeding penalty.
He may have. Yeah, I just saw the name pop up.
So yeah, again, the car's not lifting up or anything. So I imagine Mangrum got himself a speeding penalty of some sort. As Andy Hertel was on pit road. It's now Ty Higginbottom, the leader now on pit road. You can see him driving down. Kyle Knoll also in the pit lane. Yeah, if I go on the replay, I think Hertel was in. Yes, he was.
Yeah, and if we're basing kind of this window off of kind of the rest of the race, you'd have to think probably 1 more green flag pit window.
Perhaps maybe in the later laps of the race. As C.D. Mangrum now finally coming out of his pit stall. 42 seconds. And now he's 4 laps down.
I mean, I was going to say that's basically 2 laps right there. That pit stop, or 1.5. As we got more action on pit road.
So Darcy Ford making his way down, and so is Mike Marini. Marini 2 laps down. Darcy Ford was the leader. But now the leader is Daniel Cudmore, who is trying to put C.D. Mangrum now, or actually no, Mangrum was 4 laps down, but now he's 3, so I imagine he passed Daniel. So that actually may help him later if we do end up getting some shenanigans, depending on how the race goes. But so there's Darcy Ford on pit road. Daniel Cudmore's now going to make his way down, as Dylan Bahm will take the lead from Cudmore here coming around. Higginbottom about 4 seconds behind him or so. So it looks like Bahm and Higginbottom will be the top 2. Meanwhile, C.D. Mangrum at 3 laps down after that penalty.
Yeah, it looks like we got our full cycle here, Reegs. And again, Baum with a 2 laps. 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 2 relatively quick pit stop, and obviously, following all the pit row procedures certainly helped his cause here, as we'll see where the black and white deuce comes out.
Indeed, so the number 2 Winston Racing Group Ford, sponsored by Alpha Flow Racing, Archie Design, Cudmore Design, and Darcy Allen PR. 10-second pit stop time, I believe that's what I saw there. So he'll come out 1 lap down in the 8th position. Dylan Bahm leading the way by about 4 seconds over Ty Higginbottom. Jose Mercado quietly in the 3rd position. 9 seconds behind the leader. So again, 6 cars on the lead lap. And when we look at the ticker, there's like 1 lap, 3, 5, 8, 12, 23, and then it just gets even more extensive. And yeah, and even somehow, Mark Ouellette, 37 laps down, still racing in this one. Jason Butler only here just to save the replay, but I guess might as well also try and go for a world record, because why the heck not? Hunter Young now coming down pit road, 12 laps down. Darcy Cudmore, there's at 8. Marini at 6. He's on pit road for an extensive period of time.
Yeah, was he, obviously I got here a little bit after everything happened live, but was he kind of caught up in those early shenanigans I was seeing as well?
Trying to see if maybe something did. No. Looks like nothing happened. Interesting.
Yeah, then, definitely a much longer stop than perhaps one would expect.
And I can still see that you're, I imagine on one screen, one monitor or something, you're still watching the man Corbin MacAulay going at it in his eNASCAR College iRacing Series race. How's he doing so far?
I just saw him. They had a caution about at the halfway points. We know he started toward the back of the field. He is currently running P30.
That's better than last.
It is, and he had said that it was him forgetting or not realizing that it was 2 qualifying laps instead of 1 that had him starting at the back. So, to climb through a rather elite college field, it's an interesting thing to keep an eye on.
For sure, and I mean that's quite frankly the biggest stage that the biggest stage has ever been on for sim racing. Of course, years with us and over a decade long on iRacing. Trying to progress his way up to perhaps maybe a look in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series, of course. Trying to get his name out a little bit there with the college series, so not too shabby. Again, what is it? Yeah, the only Canadian in the field, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's even a milestone right there in itself. It's the only Canadian in the field, and they're from PEI. They're from the Maritimes. That's something that's usually completely unheard of.
Very much so, and I mean, it speaks obviously to the level of talent the man's got, but obviously that doesn't take away from the current talent on the current race that we're watching. So let's pop back there where it looks like, Dylan Bahm still got himself a bit of a gap.
So the number 3 looking to be en route to his 2nd career victory within the Canadian Motorsports Network DART Series. 2nd victory here in Season 2 after winning the season opening Grand Prix of Alabama. Again with, 35, 40 laps or something leading. Absolute domination by the 3. Actually, originally, though, again, it would have been Charlie Sears and Corbin MacAulay. And then, of course, Sears crashes, turn 1, and then for about maybe 10 laps or so, Bahm and Corbin MacAulay absolutely going at it for the race lead. A couple mistakes by the number 17 ended up pretty much solidifying the number 3 being the class of the field for the remainder of the race and getting the job done. But then remember, last week at the Grand Prix of Long Beach, he crashed early, and despite that, he's still up in the points. He's still 2nd. Of course, 1 point above the 2A tie for 3rd between Magram and Sears. But again, only a couple points behind Andy Hertel. Hertel currently sitting in the 7th position, so this could be a very interesting situation we see for the points lead between Hertel and Bahm. Again, if both drivers can hang on to the end.
Yeah, and I mean, Bahm's point total obviously boosted from also leading the most laps, and there was one other bonus from that Barber race as well that I think put him on 50 after that night. 40 for the win, but then he picked up another, I think even another 13. I've got Sim Racer Hub up. Let me see what I can find here.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was the 50 points, and then you got the extra 3 for leading one or more, and then leading the most. So you do.
Oh,
get
okay.
those
So
bonuses.
it's 50 for the base win. Okay, so I had
Yeah.
that messed up. I had it confused with NASCAR.
No, it's all good. But anyways, talk about
We're
battles.
talking about American open wheel racing tonight.
Yes, we're talking about
Not that other one.
Yes, not that other one. But
No.
finally, we're back to a battle. It's not for the lead, but it's still a battle. Kyle Knoll, Jose Mercado, and Patrick Hernandez going at it here for the bottom of the podium. So Mercado is no longer in no man's land. Now he's getting to battle with some guys here on lap 79 and 150. Yes, this race is winding down real quick, and it, again, kind of can't help it with the foul. Oh my gosh, that was real quick.
Oh,
my
man.
gosh. The number 9, real aggressive and close in behind the rookie Kyle Knoll. But again, as I was saying, that wreck that we had at the very beginning of the race and then a bunch of black flag and unfortunate black flag issues, this race has kind of played out the way it has now. But again, you never know if something happens and it does end up being a track, like a danger to everyone else on the track. Caution could be thrown.
Absolutely, but I mean, these guys are kind of throwing caution to the wind here right now. This is what, a 3... Yeah, that's not Darcy Ford in behind, but certainly, yeah, this 3-4-5 battle, I think this is going to be real fun.
Indeed, again, only 2.5 seconds separated between the two leaders in Bahm and Higginbottom. And then Kyle Knoll, again, this pack almost 11 seconds behind. So if they want to make up any ground, they're going to have to figure it out. Mercado trying everything he can to try and get past Knoll. Again, the number 15, I was wondering if he would be the odd man out. Again, we saw Jason Butler out of the 4 guys in that battle earlier that, unfortunately, something had to happen and ended up being with him. And honestly, the way, like Kyle Knoll, being aggressive, having a couple loose moments here, and then you got a guy like Jose Mercado in behind him. You can see the 15 just real loose on that inside line. It's incredible how he's been able to keep his car going straight. But again, you got an aggressive driver in Jose Mercado right behind who's been quietly doing well so far this season, and he wants to get himself a podium finish with all the recent momentum.
Yeah, and I mean, as you say, it's been a decent start here overall for the 9. Let me just kind of pull everything up again. A very kind of quiet 6th place finish, I believe, in the opener, and yeah, 9th place last week. So, he's getting the car to the line. He's navigating traffic or any kind of issues here in these first couple of weeks. And again, road courses and street circuits, they provide different challenges of their own, but knocking on the door of a podium here again, just kind of trying everything he can think of to get past Kyle Knoll, but nothing doing right this second. But hey, a guy in clean air like Mercado, he can be as fast as anybody here. So if he's able to find a way past Knoll, yeah, I could see him potentially making a late challenge. But again, this trio here will probably have to get some stuff done in order to reel in that lead duo, or else they risk, as you see here, Darcy Ford potentially joining it and making it a 4-car fight once again.
So only 6 cars now remaining on the lead lap. Darcy Ford, the last car on the lead lap. So again, just looking like another race where we're going to have only like 5 or less cars on the lead laps. So quite the trend that we're seeing here early in this second season of dart racing here. The first one on iRacing, of course. Of course, Jordy, I wasn't here for the first season. Was this a similar trend that you had to commentate through last season, or was it much different on the console side?
I'd have to think back a little bit, of course, if we're referencing Texas specifically, if I can even talk. It was Andy Hertel who picked up the W last year, and I think it was, if I recall, he led a good chunk of that race. But yeah, once AJ Knickel got into a rhythm on a majority of the other tracks, he was basically running and hiding for a good number of the races back in season 1 of what's now known as the DART Series. But I certainly don't remember, the battles a little further down the field being quite as intense or feeling like quite as high of stakes as they have, well, especially tonight.
Absolutely, and it's actually, seeing here, looks like Higginbottom is ever so slightly closing in on the number 3. It was about like 2.6 seconds of a gap, and now it's dropped down to about 2.2, 2.1-ish. So we're coming down to the wire here. It's going to be 60 laps to go in the Texas DART 188. Plenty of time for things to shake up. There's Higginbottom, I believe, getting past the number 7 of Andy Hertel, who is, again, the first car 1 lap down. But again, for someone like Hertel, all that really matters, especially with how this season, how this race has been going. Just finish the race and just make sure you're still up there in the points, ready to battle, ready to continue battling someone like, again, Dylan Bahm, who, again, has the trend, of course, of win and wreck, but it might be a win-wreck-win. 3 Ws.
Yeah,
Quote,
I mean, how many times have we said in order to finish first you got to finish, right? And yeah, it's been very much a boom or bust prospect for Dylan Bahm and, in reverse, Charlie Sears, obviously. But yeah, Bahm, he's looking pretty solid here so far. Might get a little bit of a buffer in the form of the lapped car behind him that Ty Higginbotham will have to navigate here eventually. But yeah, it still looks like that gap's coming down. Maybe Higgy's getting a bit of a draft off of our lapped car. Marini or Young, can't quite tell.
That would be Marini.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't entirely sure. But yeah, 2 guys from Ontario. Close enough. But I'm glad I got it right still.
So again, that lead gap is ever so slightly shrinking. Now it's gone down to 1.9, back to 2.
Yeah,
so it's just gonna be a game of patience. 1.7.
Yeah, and it looks like that was just kind of dipping out of the way there, as well as he's putting some laps in here tonight after what we said, roughly 20 minutes worth of repairs, I believe. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think there might have been a little bit of close action there with the lap car of Mark Roulette. Number 80 Koopas Racing Chevrolet, sponsored by Little Res Q Animal Shelter and Sanctuary. Very nice looking car. Not ideal results to begin his Canadian Motorsports Network DART Series career, but we all appreciate the positivity and enthusiasm that he brings. Great guy. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a guy that's, he's shown a willingness to learn as well, because obviously first few weeks, not only within the series, but I think you
Whoa, man. Magram having a moment there up high through turns 3 and 4. You keep going.
Yeah, where was I? Something about him learning. Oh, yeah, the fact that I believe he was saying that he was more kind of acclimated on the NASCAR side of things as opposed to the American Open wheels. And, oh, man, that was nearly another moment for Magram.
No, that's a replay. That's a replay.
Oh, maybe you should have said something. But he's looking good here so far. But, I mean, at least the emotions are in check here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think once Ouellette kind of comes around onto the NASCAR side of things for a potential season 5,
I
imagine it's happening. Yikes.
Higginbottom
shut up now.
Yeah, Higginbottom caught up a lot quicker than I thought he was going to. Now they're just separated by a tenth. The 97 has caught up to the 3. And the 97, again, looking for, I believe it be... Let me remind myself.
I don't think he...
No, he does not have a win. No, okay. He finished 11th in points last season. It's more. I think I was more thinking Formula One success because he did have second in points in the All-Star Series, 3 wins, and of course a bunch of NASCAR wins. Nothing yet in Dart though.
No, indeed not. And yeah, if you go through the list here, you see a lot of, AJ Knickel, Michael Dimitrov grabbing one there, Gibby grabbing one, Jason Butler grabbing one as well. I think some of those might have been some preliminary testing sessions as well. But yeah, you see a lot of the 20, and I mean, that's another difference between project cars and the iRacing platform. Project cars, you were limited to the liveries that were in the game based on the real life schemes for the equivalent of what we call Dart. Because I can't say that other name.
Yeah, I just picture... Oh.
Yeah. Early-ish, maybe. I was thinking it would be like 115 to 120 based on the first run.
That was even though that was fast, that was a very smooth entry.
Yeah, and for a potential in-lap for Ty Higginbotham here, assuming he matches Dylan Bahm's call here. I mean, yeah, it could prove to be very interesting. We'll see what the stop looks like. And there's Higginbotham in on cue.
So Higginbotham comes in behind him. So Kyle Knoll and Jose Mercado now are going to be the two guys battling for the lead. Bahm with a 10.08. We're going to see what Higginbotham's time is going to be like.
Yeah, just pulling into that fourth stall here now. And I'd imagine roughly similar. Yeah, wow, 8.4.
Massive, or maybe not massive, but just it's a difference. 8.42 versus a 10.08. Very noticeable between the 97 and the 3.
I mean, it's a second and a half, of course.
But then again, though, we saw with Higginbotham and Bahm how fast we saw them get together at their courses. Wow, Kyle Knoll, very aggressive there. Wow, Jose Mercado's going to go the inside, looking for the race lead, trying to read a lap, and never mind. That was completely, that was completely bad timing. As Mercado even got close to that inside wall, the tire barrier there. But as I was saying, though, like, we were watching the replay of CD Magram getting in the wall, and then out of nowhere, like the last time we saw it was maybe like 1.5 seconds or something separating the two, and then all of a sudden we go through the replay, we get back to live, and it's a tenth between them.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if in getting past the lap car of Mike Marini, Higginbotham kind of maybe invoked a bit of a slingshot effect here, you might say.
Oh, Mercado was faster than both of them.
Well, I mean, a couple laps later, don't have to take as much fuel. I could see it.
Interesting if that does play into how this finish is going to go. But now, Darcy Ford's going to take a hold of the race lead and gain himself an extra point. 3 cars on the lead lap. It's him, Hertel, and Daniel Cudmore. The good old, I guess you can say, Canadian Motorsports Network kind of veteran group, quote-unquote, in a way. I don't know how to describe it perfectly, but yes, familiar faces all around as Darcy Ford. The number 64 will make his way down onto pit road. So far, so good. Don't think anyone has any penalties or anything like that. I want to see the difference between the 3, 97, and the 9. The 3 entering turn 1, the 97. Okay. They're still close. About 2 seconds or so. Jose Mercado, on the other hand, still has some ground to gain, about 5 seconds back of the 97. There's still time for things to shake up, as Daniel Cudmore is now going to take a hold here of the race lead. Darcy Ford with a time of 9.7. Andy Hertel also making his way down pit road. So will Hunter Young.
Yeah, it looks like this is kind of that final green flag run we were talking about. I was thinking, based on when the kind of first round of stops happened, we were looking at about 115 to 120, but it started a few laps earlier than I anticipated. So we'll see how the tires should hang on pretty well through the rest of the way. Just maybe a little more margin for error than I had suspected.
So Daniel Cudmore going to, again, go off of, let me see how this works. It's just one little extra point for the number 2, who right now is sitting in a 3-way tie for 7th in points. So, again, he's still going to come down pit road. But still, though, like guys like him and, there's also Darcy Ford, they're, again, 2 out of this battle. I would imagine Jose Mercado is going to be the one coming out of this with the advantage out of all of them. Because, again, Cudmore, whenever he goes to pit, probably going to be a lap down with Ford. I believe that's what it was. That's what the situation was beforehand. Dylan Bahm and Higginbottom separate by about 2 seconds. 6 separating Higginbottom and Mercado. So it's probably just going to be another case of the 97 trying to catch up to the 3 and make up some form of an interesting battle here, as we will be winding down here to the end of this Texas Star 188 very, very soon, coming to 30 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, really 1 lap fresher tires for Higginbotham. That's really not going to make a huge difference here in the long run, because, again, that's really 30 seconds in the difference between when Baum came in and, of course, Higginbotham coming in for his in lap. But, yeah, ultimately it seems like coming in early has paid dividends here for the 3, as, again, he's looking to double up on his victories here, as it looks like looks like one of the GTR guys trying to make a move ahead. But this is shaping up to be a pretty good battle here between Hernandez and Knoll. These two have been in close quarters here for the majority of the evening, more often than not with at least one more car joining them, sometimes 2.
Some car behind them might have had an issue there. I can't tell who. I think it was Darcy Cudmore.
I was going to say, well, yeah, that looked about right. I was initially going to say Ouellette, but yeah, we see him in pit lane now, as we also see Dan Cudmore in pit lane.
7.73 pit stop time. So Dylan Bahm is now going to retake the race lead, as Ty Higginbottom will do everything he can to catch up 2 seconds behind. So Daniel Cudmore will fall to a lap down with Andy Hertel, but Darcy Ford notably going to keep himself on the lead lap in the 6th position. As Patrick Hernandez is going to get past Jose Mercado for the 3rd spot. Actually, yeah, Mercado getting a double beaten here by Hernandez and Kyle Knoll. Wow, aggressive racing there between the 50 and the 9.
Yeah, I wonder if Mercado maybe just had a loose moment to let both of those guys by.
Wow, my God!
Oh, yep, there's contact.
Mark Ouellette's going to go around. Caution!
Yeah, he kind of got tagged by, I think it was Knoll. And
no, I think Knoll was on the inside. I think that might have been Hernandez up high. But again, that's what the replay's for.
We'll take another look, yeah.
But tragedy here for Mark Ouellette. Again, looking at recent race results. Alabama finishes 16th. And then actually improved to 12th at Long Beach, so not bad. But this time around, might be 13th. Just one position lower, but still, based on the cars in this race, though, still not ideal. And I keep making that damn ticker mistake.
Again, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I just find it funny. Anyways.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see again what happened there. Yeah, Hernandez. So, yeah, you were right on that.
So, yeah, Ouellette lap car course, and then you see all these guys going at it, and I imagine
That's a tough one there.
That's going to need a little bit more analyzing.
Yeah, because...
Let me see here.
Yeah, you see Hernandez almost pinches Knoll there on that lower line. And
dang it. Come on.
Then he winds up going high, and unlike the case of Jason Butler where it was netcode, it looked like there was in fact contact that time around.
So I'm trying to see here if I can get a fair angle of some sort. Yeah, we'll yeah, there we go.
So yeah, you see Hernandez kind of coming a little low, and yeah, just comes up again. Hard to tell. Certainly, Ouellette got the worst of that. The poor guy, just kind of caught in the crossfire here, it seems.
I mean, yeah, Hernandez could have attempted maybe something in the middle there, but then you saw Kyle Knoll, his left side tires getting in the grass. So it's kind of as if Hernandez really had nowhere to go, and just, lap car in front of him, slow car, just probably not enough time to slow down. Again, these cars at these fast speeds, 230 plus miles per hour, so it just kind of couldn't really do anything about it there. Just very, very unfortunate circumstances as we have a caution here with under 30 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway, as it looks like multiple cars are going to come down pit road here. It'll be interesting to see with some of the lead lap cars especially, notably Kyle Knoll, Patrick Hernandez. Those are two. Those are some two there. Maybe try to get some fresher tires, maybe to get a bit of an advantage here on guys like Baum and Higginbottom and such. Again, and then there's Mercado again, who Jose Mercado's a guy who has shown the speed, but he seems like he just can't really hold himself together, and there's always someone or multiple drivers taking advantage of him. So this could be an opportunity right here for him to just kind of relax and just, figure things out.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of leveling the playing field here a little bit with, again, what's effectively going to be a 23, 24 lap shootout here to the finish. It'll be very interesting to see how this all kind of unfolds here. I wonder if Knoll may have incurred significant additional damage. 37, 38, 39, 40 seconds. I wasn't expecting that.
That's interesting. So I imagine Hernandez might have been a case of trying to take advantage of the top guys, but Kyle Knoll, on the other hand, as you see the pace car and everyone else coming around through turns 3 and 4 in the background, Knoll's going to have to get out here quick or he's going to go a lap down. And he's probably going to.
He's out there over a minute, yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But, Jordy, late race caution. We did kind of miss the restart there after the early crash, of course, at the start of the race, which obviously went cleaner. But, again, knowing what happened at the start, and just the fact that now this is going to be coming down to the wire. This is a late race restart, which I don't think any of us were expecting, although at the same time, it wasn't surprising either. Things could get very heated with some of these top guys, some of these top guns, because now they're going to be all put together. Again, Baum, Higginbottom, Mercado, Andy Hertel notably back on the lead lap.
Again, former Texas winner. Sometimes, again, how many times have we said it? This will be at least 2 tonight. To finish first you got to finish. We haven't really talked a whole lot about Andy Hertel tonight because, again, he was a lap down for a majority of the evening. But suddenly, he's back in the equation here, and really, anyone like that top 6 who are on the lead lap, I'd say it's anybody's ball game here.
And again, if we look at some of these driver info tabs here so far, Dylan Baum's led 50 laps. Higginbottom's got 5. Magrum is 53. So a bunch of, not really anyone with absolute sheer dominance.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see what would have happened if Magrum hadn't incurred that penalty where he would come into play. But let's see who comes out to play in the next 24 laps. There's the green flag. Riggs, you take it.
Looks to be mostly a clean start. There's a couple guys towards the back kind of spinning the tires or maybe having issues with the gears. But we are back underway with the Texas Dart 188. We are nearing 20 laps to go in this year's edition of this event. And Dylan Bahm and Ty Higginbottom are being put right back together as Jose Mercado, but a second or so back up behind. Andy Hertel, Patrick Hernandez, and Darcy Ford will try to make something happen within these next couple laps here. C.D. Magra and Mikhail Knoll, or never mind, Knoll's still on pit road. That is very unfortunate for him, knowing, again, kind of having a loose race, but still running up high, looking for maybe a top 5 position, maybe even having the speed for a podium if he was able to keep things together. But no, he's still stuck on pit road. And right now it's looking like one driver trying to go for his second career victory. There's another trying to also, actually technically it would be Higginbottom as well. Although Higginbottom has more of that Dart Series experience, again on consoles, so it depends on how you view all this, but would you look at this? Jose Mercado and Andy Hertel are joining the battle. We're going to have a 4-car battle for the lead, as this time around we're going to be coming to 20 laps to go.
All right, yeah, this isn't going to get interesting at all here, is it, Reeks?
Absolutely not.
No, I would just stay here. And I mean, how many times have we seen these 4-car battles? I don't know if any of them have ended well.
Again, it's one, and the thing is too, I guess technically it's 2 rookies versus 2 veterans, or if we talk about Canadian Motorsports Network experience, Baum's, I guess, kind of quote-unquote a sophomore, and then Higginbottom, Mercado, and Hertel are all veterans, so there's kind of different resumes along these 4 drivers, which is no doubt, it's what makes this battle very unique. And again, like, Baum and Higginbottom have been those guys up front. And again, I mentioned earlier, Jose Mercado has been that guy that just, he's got that speed, but it seems like he just can't really hang on. But I did mention during that caution period, it was a perfect opportunity for him to mentally calm down, figure things out, and maybe be able to find some miracle in that number 9 car. And then meanwhile, back here, Patrick Hernandez and Darcy Ford will be getting very close. That's a lap car that you see in between all of them. It's C.D. Magram. So battle for 5th right there. But yeah, we have to stay on these lead lap cars pretty much the rest of the way unless something happens towards the back.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think all your talk about experience before, iRacing's kind of the great equalizer here, isn't it? Like, again, the fact that Season 1 was on project cars and, significantly different physics, significantly different model from what we were running on the project cars / console side of things. And yeah, I think this is just going to be a straight up fight here.
I believe the 97 may have had a bit of a moment there coming through turns 3 and 4 the last time. But again, these 4 cars keeping themselves kind of in that train pack or whatever they may see at a super speedway, if that's the best way to put it. That's the only real comparison that I can think of. But actually, no, right now we're at 15 laps to go in the Texas Dart 188. Make your pick, 3, 97, 9, or 7.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's always easier to kind of work from the front. And I mean, Dylan Bahm with a win already this year. He obviously didn't really have to defend that much in that one once he did get the lead. But yeah, this trio isn't... Like, they're not going to let him out of their sight. And, I mean, Mercado, he's had, like, the first half of the race, we were talking about him being in no man's land effectively in 4th place. So he hasn't really had a whole lot to think about. But now in this moment, yeah, we'll see if he hangs on. I think I'm going to go with the 97.
Okay, very, very interesting to hear on that one.
Because, I mean, he's been in chase mode for a majority of the kind of second green flag session. And, he's found a way to push Dylan Bahm here over the last little bit. And, he's a guy who's proven to be patient and been able to keep a cool head. And, I think that could serve him very well here as we're coming up on 10 laps to go.
Whoa, Mercado getting very close behind the rear bumper of the 97. Still not able to find any ground, though, in terms of passing him. And Andy Hertel just kind of, on the other hand, like, I kind of like the motto, knocking on the door. He's right there behind those three, and we all know he's got that speed, and he also, again, you got to pay attention to the fact that in front of him is Dylan Bahm, second in points, just a few points behind him. Hertel leading the way. He's looking up ahead. Like, hell, let's just go to this right here. He's looking up ahead to the guy that may very well take the points lead heading into round 4 next Tuesday. He's going to want to try and be given a miracle and trying to keep the points lead somehow.
Yeah, and again, it's a very interesting trio that he finds himself behind here. Like, Baum's certainly no stranger to being aggressive. Mercado certainly no stranger to it as well. Higginbotham's kind of a bit of a hybrid of the two styles, not afraid to get his elbows out, but he's maybe a little bit more calculating in making that happen. Hertel, yes, competitive. I'd also suggest that out of these 4, I'd suggest he's probably the most passive out of the group, but you know, in these kind of hairy situations, especially when you come up on lap traffic like this quartet is right now, you know, the stakes just get higher. You look for every bit of room you can find, really. And yeah, he could be a guy to find a spot here at the end. I don't know if it'll be quite enough, but you know, he's looking to lock down some solid points here.
This time around, 6 laps to go in the Texas Star 188. These laps are just winding down very quickly, so all 4 of these guys, or I would say at least the 3 behind Dylan Bahm, are going to have to try and figure something out very, very quickly. Because, again, time's flying by. You got to make a quick decision here at some point, and it could risk you eliminating yourself in this race as they're getting real close. Jose Mercado especially. They're slowly trying to figure things out. That 97 is really there. So is the 9.
I don't know how Mercado and Higginbotham didn't make contact there as the two were kind of converging on that back straight. But here goes Higginbotham.
Here he comes. He's going to try the high side with 5 laps to go. Try to get a run. Again, that high side doesn't really have much of an advantage. It's more that inside. If Baum continues to cover it up, then he may very well be on his way to his 2nd career victory, but the 97 will be looking to try and find something. Oh, the 9 having trouble. Andy Hertel to the 3rd position.
Yeah, and I was talking about Higginbotham earlier. How many laps has he been behind Dylan Bahm here now? He's seen the lines that the 3 is taking. He's seen the strategies. He's seen the concepts that he's going for here.
Mercado is severely falling back after what just happened there.
Yeah, not quite sure what went down, as you say. He lost a couple of positions, but yeah, ultimately a 3-car race here now.
Baum, Higginbottom, and Hertel going after the win side by side through the front straightaway. 2 laps to go in the Texas Star 188. Oh, side by side now for the 2nd position. Andy Hertel's going to try and jump both the 97 and the 3. He will, or well, he'll get halfway there so far. So Hertel will try.
Yeah, he's, making moves here as we're coming up with the white flag.
Oh my gosh, white flag, final lap. Andy Hertel will try to find something here against the 3, but the 97 will also try and gain some extra points in the 2nd position. Here they come, down the back straightaway. Oh my gosh, Hertel, they're going to be almost 3 wide. No, Baum's still on Higginbottom, go for the 2nd position. He's going to go to the high side. And to the checkered flag. Baum's barely going to get it as he crashes hard past the start finish line, over the inside wall, into the catch fence, upside down.
Oh my God.
Even though that just happened, regardless, the Texas Star 188 of 2023 will go to Dylan Bahm.
Well, we're not getting any donuts, but god damn, I want to see that finish again.
Higginbottom's upside down as well.
Yeah, that's yikes.
There's no cars left. They can't even celebrate now.
Nope.
I'm bewildered.
But, I mean, they got the checkered flag just before all this went down, so it's official.
So we are gonna catch a glimpse of that entire final lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. Again, the three up ahead, Hertel trying to take advantage by jumping both guys, and then they went all the way down to the apron. A perfect run for Hertel, then gets killed, and the 97 gets a huge run as I think the three might have had a loose moment, and then side by side down the front straightaway to the line. Bahm gets it, and then wow! Oh my gosh!
I think like another turn or two, Higginbotham might have gotten there, but I mean, full credit to Dylan Bahm having to absolutely defend his ass off there as we see the collateral damage here as a result. Whew. Man, oh man.
What more fitting ending could we have?
I mean, they're always bigger in Texas, right? Like, that's about as big as you can get, especially on that run to the start finish. And yeah, there's Higginbotham Bahm just mastering that inside line. And I mean, just no regard for physics there whatsoever. As there's Bahm getting the line and then promptly getting launched. Oof.
My gosh!
Yeah, there goes the flag. And yeah, there's the calamity that follows.
Oh, goodness.
Holy good lord.
And the thing is, too, with all that being said as well, 24 1,000ths of a second separating those two at the finish.
Yeah, that
I think that's how you do the math. I think that's how you do it.
Yeah, so it was, I think it's 24 1,000ths actually.
Yeah,
so
it is 24. Yeah, 0.024.
Yeah, so 24 1,000.
Yeah, it would be a
K
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, very, very close. And, obviously finishing off this final section of the race, Dylan Bahm should find himself with an additional 3 points for most laps led, as Mangrum had that title previously, but Bahm would have obviously gotten him with his admittedly very stout defending at the end. Like, you got three basically fighter jets there trying to take him. And I say that completely forgetting that Higgy's running an Air Force livery, but that was completely unintentional on my part. But like, just the stealth and the diving in every single corner, and it just felt like there was, it really absolutely was not decided until we got to the line. And it goes without saying, the most exciting finish that we've had in our 3 races of this DART series season, to this point.
And there's your still of the finish. 24 1,000ths right there. And quite frankly, too, behind them, Patrick Hernandez and Darcy Ford were catching up. So if there had been a couple more laps to this finish, if it had been like 5 more laps, we could have seen a five, maybe even it would have been a 5-car battle for the win. But honestly, I think what we got was probably well enough.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, if we'd gotten any more, like we saw Darcy Ford get collected as part of the post-race collateral there, too. And, yeah, I mean, top 5 separated by 4/10. Come on. What more do you want?
Indeed. So with all that being said, here are the unofficial results for the 2023 Texas DART 188, round 3 of 13 for the 2023 Canadian Motorsports Network, season 2 of DART on iRacing. Dylan Bahm, the number 3 Toyota, will go to Victory Lane, the SimlyPro.com Team 44 Racing Toyota for the second time this season. Ty Higginbottom's number 97 U.S. Air Force car will finish in, Toyota's in the top 2, so not too shabby right there. But Higginbottom finishing second, Andy Hertel rounding out the podium. So no doubt that Bahm and Hertel will continue to battle for the second annual Greg Moore Cup at the top of the driver's standings. And again, looking at the standings again, Ty Higginbottom, 12th in points, 43 points overall. There's no doubt that he's going to climb his way up the standings a ton, knowing how a bunch of other results played out. Patrick Hernandez, 4th place finish right there. And again, going off a recent going off of recent results with him, Hernandez finished 12th in Alabama and then finished 13th at Long Beach, so very deserving right there. Lots of speed in tonight's event. Quite the resurgence after 2 okay races, I guess. Darcy Ford, the open-wheel veteran within the network, rounds out the top 5. Jose Mercado continues his quietly successful run here through the season thus far, through 3 rounds. 6th place right there, yet again another top 10. Daniel Cudmore in 7th, the first car, 1 lap down, again top 6th. Only cars on the lead lap. CD Magrum in 8th, 3 laps down. Darcy Cudmore with a top 10. Not bad for him, 12 laps down. And Mike Marini's going to round out the top 10. Jordy, you take it the rest of the way.
Yeah, a lot of names a few names I didn't really get to talk about because of reasons here, but we'll start with Hunter Young in the 77, finishing 11th, 21 laps down. Then you had Kyle Knoll, who, as we talked about, was in the running for a potential top 3, but ultimately got caught up in a couple of things there toward the end and finishes 12th, 26 laps down, part of course, that crash that triggered the late caution. Then you have Mark Ouellette, who completed roughly half race distance after lap 1 incident. He was able to take that and turn it into a 13th place and finish just to get the laps under his belt, essentially. Jason Butler, not so lucky, retirement on lap 40 to finish in 14th. Then you have a couple more early casualties in the form of Jonathan Swainson and Ivan Reynolds, whereas Charlie Sears, we talked about him sort of being a boom or bust to this point. Again, didn't make turn 1 in Alabama, dominates the field at Long Beach, doesn't see turn 1 here at Texas, and yeah, he's at the bottom of the field here, and yeah, looking to bounce back in a week's time. Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark from what I saw. It looked kind of chaotic there toward the end. It seemed like there were a lot of cautions that I was watching on the other screen. But still, to get onto that stage for the first time, it takes, significant gusto to be able to get there in the first place. And yeah, looking forward to kind of repeat appearances for him here. And we know he won't forget his Canadian E-Motorsports Network roots either.
And I realized I was muted that whole time. What I was saying there was talking about Corbin MacAulay's what looks to be his result in the eNASCAR College iRacing Series race at Charlie Motor Speedway. Might have been 33rd or something like that, somewhere in the early 30s. But again, as Jordy said, as we will go to our faces here, for him being at the biggest stage that he's been on throughout his sim racing career, it's certainly special. And even to have been able to finish that one out, knowing how the race went. Still great to see it to him, but what matters here with the Canadian Motorsports Network DART Series, Jordy, Dylan Bahm, 2 wins within 3 rounds, of course, at DNF and the other one, but there's no doubt that he may very well have just become the points leader with that one. And thing is, too, that was a very close call there that we saw. Tay Higginbottom was ever so close to his first career DART Series victory himself. Andy Hertel following him behind as the points leader heading in. What more can you say about, again, a race that had a bit of a weird funky start, if that's even a way to put it, and then after that it was just kind of going on and a little bit more at peace, some couple battles going on every now and then, green flag pit windows making things interesting, and then that late caution which put everyone back together, and we could have had a 5-car battle for the win at the end, but no, we saw quite it's self-explanatory what we just saw. Bahm, Higginbottom, and Hertel, and then after the line, after 24 1,000ths of a second of a photo finish, holy moly.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, all the battling we saw over the course of the evening, it felt almost academic that something big was going to happen, and yeah, we weren't necessarily sure it was going to trigger a full track caution, but of course it did. Yeah, 24, 25 laps to go, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe even more than that. But yeah, with the kind of close quarters that everybody was in, nice to be back on the ovals here for sure in the DART Series, or at least that's our debut. But, that's that brings up an interesting point on Dylan Bahm. Of course, the 2 wins in 3 races so far, 2 different track configurations, road course to start, now an oval. He could be proving himself to be the complete package here early on. And yeah, we find ourselves in another road course, I believe, next week, Canadian Tire. We'll get to that. But now that we've seen him win 2 out of 3, kind of in the different formats like we were talking about, and I say, could definitely be a case of, maybe just more than the one-trick pony here, so to speak. He's a guy that's, could very well be one to watch as we go on.
Absolutely, too. Really making headlines here for the SimLeaguePro.com Team 44 Racing. Number 3, Toyota. Again, the momentum coming off that season finale win in Season 4 of NASCAR. So he's been having quite the fun over about the past couple months or a little bit more longer that or so. I mean, again, if we combine all the races that he's been in so far, excluding the Oysterbed Speedway 250, of course, like NASCAR season finale win, then he gets the win at Alabama to start the DART Series season. Then there's there is that DNF at Long Beach, but then here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway, he barely gets the job done. So technically, points paying wise, that's 3 wins within 4 races right there. And what better way to start off the open wheel career for the number 3 of Dylan Bahm, of course, who will no doubt cause an interesting battle to continue to stir between him and, of course, Andy Hertel, who finished 3rd, obviously. And now we might as well here take a look back at the schedule here because, again, I'm going to try and get to this post-race winner interview here with Dylan Bahm if hopefully he's still in some server wherever. I mean, we were able to interview him, obviously, after the Grand Prix of Alabama. But, Jordy, before you get going, might as well get your opinion about what's coming up here. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Yes, we say American Open Wheel Racing, but we're making a trek to Canada just like the Real Life Series does at least once, and it's going to be at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park with a DART Indy Ontario. 45 laps Tuesday night, October 24th. Again, going back to the regular road course formats and such, best lap within 10 minutes. Ignore that car engine power. It's completely wrong, as we said in the intro, obviously. But right back to road course action. And then after that, the night before Halloween, the Indianapolis 250. There's a lot of excitement to really stir up here within the Canadian Motorsports Network and the DART Series here for its 2nd season of operation. 2 big races coming up. There's no doubt that this points battle that will stir between Dylan Bahm and Andy Hertel will really begin to take shape, and we'll see if any other drivers look to join them as we continue this thrilling season.
Well, I mean, again, we kind of forget about our one pro driver in the series. He'll probably have a say in all of this eventually. Obviously, the one race he's gotten beyond turn 1, he cleared the field almost entirely. It'll be very interesting to see, particularly at Canadian Tire. Obviously not the American open wheel layout in Canada that everyone would be accustomed to. But yeah, that place, like the elevation, it reminds me a little bit of Barber, maybe not quite as pronounced in some places, and certainly not as many turns to consider, but it's got the potential to be equal parts epic and hilarious. So I suggest you tune in next week.
Yes, indeed. You better tune in. It'll be around 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Atlantic, of course, on Tuesday, October 24th. Of course, I still have to get to Dylan Bahm here, but that's it for Jordy here within the commentary booth. On the other side, of course, he's been here since the very beginning within the Canadian Motorsports Network, my color commentator from the other side of the country in Alberta, Canada. So, did that face mean something?
I'm just kind of listening here. It's been a weird day, so I'm just kind of all over the place.
All right. But, Jordy, once again, thank you very much. Originally, you weren't supposed to be here tonight, but you were able to get in somehow. And maybe it's as if we had that weird thing happen at the start of the race, and then you came in, and it's as if, like, it kind of waited until the end, for things to shake up. But anyways, once again, thank you very much for your educational and historical insight as per usual, and we will see you next Tuesday night for some good old, we'll say, Canadian open wheel racing, perhaps, with the Dart Indy Ontario at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Yes, sir.
Yippee! And now we get to, hopefully get to, tonight's winner, Dylan Bahm. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, folks. Yeah, we're quickly right back at it here again. No surprise that he is still here in the server. A very committed man here when it comes to going to victory lane, which again, for the second time this season here, it's the number 3 SimlyPro.com Team 44 Racing number 3 Toyota of rookie Dylan Bahm. 2 wins within 3 races. Of course, there was the DNF last week, but it's as if it never happened because Bahm will still continue to remain a perennial contender for the second annual Greg Moore Cup alongside veteran Andy Hertel. But Dylan Bahm, man, you got the job done. A lot closer compared to what you had in the season opener back in Alabama. I guess the first question I could ask is, knowing what we saw there at the finish right after the line, you are healthy and safe out of the virtual infield care center, right?
That if we don't have a virtual fatality or something like that, I'd be disappointed. When I said that, I didn't mean me.
I understand you there. I understand you, buddy. Yes. So yeah, everyone, thankfully, he is at the virtual infield care center, of course. But yeah, other than what happened there, man, 24 1,000ths of a second separating you and the number 97, man. That was, again, a lot, as I said earlier, a lot closer compared to the season opening win. But man, for an open wheel rookie, man, 2 wins and 3 within the first 3 races. That's mightily impressive of you here so far within this second season of the DART Series. First one on iRacing, man. Take us through what that race was like for you and how it feels now. 2 wins in 3 races. Hell of a start.
I mean, this was certainly a race. We had the lap 1 shenanigans where I had flashbacks to the second Charlotte race in the Cup Series where it was a really similar thing to when Jared Island from outside pole spun the tires, turned left, and almost spun right in front of me. But for some miraculous, being, I didn't die in that whole situation. It could have gone very, very wrong and completely changed the entire outcome of this race. But thankfully we didn't. Well, whatever happened on that caution period, whatever confusion happened, I think CD Mangrum just didn't see that iRacing was telling him to let the pace car by, or maybe it glitched or something. I don't know. But if it got resolved, we were in an okay spot, and we were just kind of sitting there in line, just playing it patient till the end, realizing there's no real point in racing early in the race. Save it till the final 40-some laps, and, well, that's what we did. And once I got to the front into the lead, CD got that speeding penalty. I don't want to say it was, we were home free, but like we were certainly in a good spot, knowing that typically in these open wheel drafting kind of races, the car at the very front has this weirdly big advantage to where if you play it right and you don't mess up and you don't leave the inside exposed, you can kind of just sit there, and it's really, really hard for anyone to get around you. And that's what I did. I played it perfectly, and we won, albeit very close. But a win's a win, even if you almost die in the process.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. And the thing is, too, during that race, too, twice you had the number 97 barreling at you. The first time around, still early on, still time for things to happen, but then that late race caution happened, and they had to bunch all of you back up together, and then he was all at you again there towards the end. Very different in comparison to the first time he was coming there at you, but yeah, man, that with that finish with him, I must imagine your heart rate must have been pretty high.
Oh, it was, maybe I got into this false sense of security, seeing that he couldn't really break to within a tenth or 2/10 of me and actually get a proper run at me the first, until 5 to go, basically. Right. It looked as if I just sit on the bottom and cover my line, there's no way he can get around me. Then he started getting closer and closer and getting much bigger runs. I don't know if he just started to put more in it, take more risk, or if, I don't know, something tire-related or whatever caused that to happen. But it was scary, but I held on. And that's all that matters.
Indeed scary, but I mean, hey, you could argue that's what makes it most fun right there. But yes, man, but now talking, moving forward here again, 2 wins within your first 3 career races here within the DART Series, or just on the open wheel side in general for the Canadian Motorsports Network. You have all this momentum in the world now heading into 2 races in particular that are coming up that are going to be very crucial when it comes to points and just how you survive until the end. I mean, quite frankly, you now have a win on a road course and an oval. So you now have that little, diverse resume now heading into Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, which is next Tuesday, and then the night before Halloween, of course, or I believe that's when it'll be, the Indianapolis 250 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, man. 2 big races coming up on, again, road course and oval. And again, you have all the momentum in the world. Road course win and an oval win. What's it going to take to carry that momentum into Canadian Tire and also Indy as well, and be able to, just build upon that resume and be able to continue going on for that second annual Greg Moore Cup, especially, too, with another open wheel veteran and star in Andy Hertel right there with you?
It's going to take me not doing what I did at Long Beach again, which was very, very bad. And again, I wasn't really gelling with that particular setup. I think there's a lot of things that they could do to make this car better on the road course, whether it's planned obsolescence or trying to make the car seem more difficult to drive than it is. I don't know. But in my opinion, some of the default setups for this car have very strange philosophies and choices made in them. But that's besides the point. We just need to keep it clean and not wreck the car, basically. Do the best that we can. I probably have, on average, second best pace if you want to average out all the tracks that I'm good at and bad at. So I definitely have the upper hand in this championship fight, but not bottling it through dumb errors, I think, is going to be important to me to not lose it.
For sure. There's no doubt that with this momentum, you're going to continue going on at Canadian Tire and Indy and make something happen here. Again, you're going for that Rookie of the Year battle there as well. And again, it's looking like you might be well on your way to both potentially a Greg Moore Cup and a Rookie of the Year award. But again, still early on. Still plenty of things to happen, but again, that momentum, that confidence will surely help you. And so, with all that being said, everyone, that is the post-race winner interview for the 2023 edition of the Texas DART 188 here at Texas Motor Speedway for Season 2 of the Canadian Motorsports Network DART Series, the first one on iRacing. Again, the number 3 Toyota, Team 44 Racing, SimLeaguePro.com. Rookie Dylan Bahm, 2 wins in 3 races. Again, winning the season opener at Alabama, and now winning here in a much closer finish here at Texas Motor Speedway, 24 1/1000ths of a second. We'll have to see later on tonight or tomorrow, whatever, about what the point situation is going to look like between Baum and Hertel, but wouldn't be surprising one bit if he does end up taking the points lead heading into Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So once again, Dylan Baum, congratulations on your second career victory, and we will see you next Tuesday night for some, again, back to road course racing, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Celebrate well and prepare your best, and we will see you then. There's no doubt that you will continue to have success here within the network and the series.
Thank you very much, and I very much look forward to it.
Actually, you want one more thing, actually. Do you want to thank anyone in particular? You want to shout out anyone if you want to, just quickly?
I'd like to thank Ty Higginbottom for making that absolute epic clip. I'm sure that will go down in the history books for sure. Whether for the right reasons or not is not up to me to decide, but that was epic. And AJ for putting me in this car to begin with. And, well, my experience in testing here is more going to mold what he wants to do in his own league, right, with this car. So I think of it as sort of like a win-win relationship, where my involvement here not only is repping the brand and the team, but also giving him information to go and succeed in his own endeavors. So, yeah, I want to thank him for making this possible.
Alrighty then, sounds good, buddy. Once again, congratulations. We'll see you next Tuesday night for Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
I look forward to it.
And so, with all of that being said, that does it for tonight's live production here of racing within the Canadian Motorsports Network, Season 2 of the DART Series, first one on iRacing. And again, next Tuesday night on October the 24th, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Atlantic, somewhere around then, the DART Indy Ontario Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, 45 laps. American Open Wheel Racing takes the trek to Canada. So, we will see you all then. You better be there, because the points battle that we have here between Dylan Bahm and Andy Hertel for the second annual Greg Moore Cup will no doubt continue to get heated as we continue also on our journey towards preparing for the 2023 third annual Indianapolis 250. So on behalf of me, the voice of the Canadian Motorsports Network, Regan McCauley, and also as well Jordy Garaher, been here since the very beginning, the other voice of the network and series founder Daniel Cudmore, the competition committee for the network, and everyone else involved. We'd like to thank you all very much for listening and watching, tuning in to another live production of Canadian Motorsports Network Racing. That was the 2023 Texas DART 188. We will be back next Tuesday night for the DART Indy Ontario at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. You better be there. Once again, thank you very much. Take care. We hope you enjoyed tonight's event. Have a good one.